I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't wanna do. Baby, while we're young,
Hey guys, welcome back to AMD Presents TEC Valorant Showdown. My name is Crips and with me is Fet, and we're gonna have a long game ahead of us. So if you need your energy about you, go ahead and scan that QR code to get your own Red Bull cans. But we've already seen one very high octane game today. We saw Enigma go up against Global Esports, and Global Esports was able to win it out 2-1. Now
Mhm.
our next match is going to be Velocity going up against Team Exploit.
Yeah, and like Velocity, they've been trying to claw their way back to the top spot for a while. Have Global having displaced them, and Team Exploit. Like I'm looking at their roster: Shaka, Soulmate, HSB, Shooter, King.
Hmm?
Two of these names pop out like right off the page: HSB and Shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Shooter. Like HSB, I know for sure was playing back in the day when Counter Strike was all the rage, and he was one mean player. Like he was just the king of the server. Whenever he was
Yeah.
playing, he was just like fragging out like crazy. And the same can be said for like Velocity, like Ace,
Mm-hmm.
Hellfighter, Mazel, Deathmaker, Vibhor. Vibhor, I think he wasn't there much during the CS times, but he's really come into his own once Valorant hit the well, hit the shelves. And Vibhor is one of the more standout players. Like he's one of the more unsung heroes of Velocity. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Deathmaker, Ace, Hellfighter, like they get all the flashy kills, so they get all the limelight. But it's Vibhor who's the puppet master. I feel in the background, like he's the one that comes out clutch in a lot of these iffy situations, these 50-50s, and Vibhor is the one that clutches them out for Velocity. So what I'm saying is we have a game on our hands, Crips. This best of three is gonna slap and it's gonna be fun.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be fun. For us, I can't really say the same for these teams because they will be under immense pressure. A single loss over here could lead to their journey being ended over here in the TEC showdown. I mean, both these teams have had pretty good performances, but at the end of the day, it was not enough to get them through to the winners bracket. Both of them fall. I mean, Exploit had their hands full with Paper Rex, so they got handed a bad card, and now they are here in the lower bracket. Whereas
Mm.
Velocity, on the other hand, they had some close games against Team Louvre, but it just wasn't enough. They were not able to get a single maps, and they also find themselves over here in the lower bracket. But these two teams, I mean, they've had some history between them. Before I talk about that, let's head over to the map video and see what all are we going to be seeing today. I think the map video looks pretty good. I mean, in the previous match, we had Split and Bind, two very puggish maps. This time we have Icebox and Breeze, which are the opposite of
Yeah.
puggish.
Yeah, Icebox, Breeze, both of these, the newer maps, they weren't there when the game launched. And I think these are the maps that actually give Valorant its own identity in terms of a
Mm-hmm.
competitive first person shooter. Split, Bind, Ascent, they're still modeled after the quintessential CS:GO 3 lane map design
Mm-hmm.
with 2 bomb sites. Haven was the one with the 3 bomb sites, but even that is pretty linear, right?
Hmm.
Apart from Split, which has a lot of verticality worked into it. So uh, I think what Riot have done with the maps, especially the newer ones, is that they've taken elements that identify with that gives their game a unique identity and have run
Mm-hmm.
with it. And Icebox and Breeze, they're very dynamic maps. It's a lot of fun to play and even more fun to watch. And there we go. Velocity Gaming. Yeah, man, you were right. 7 players. Whew, that is a big lineup.
I know, right? It's massive. So we know that we have Right to Ace, Hellfighter, Mazel, Deathmaker, and Vibhor playing today, which means Amaterasu and MW1 are going to be taking a back seat. Amaterasu, he's taken the role of a coach since the last few weeks. I haven't really seen him play himself, so he's probably going to be standing behind them, encouraging them. Um, in the gauntlet last week, we saw Deathmaker standing behind them, but obviously this time he is playing, and it's MW1 who's sitting this one out. So, yeah, like I said, Velocity, I think at this point they are at a stage where they just want to find the ideal lineup, find the best possible permutation and combination of their players, and put their best foot forward. Team Exploit, on the other hand, I mean, they also have an extra player, but not as many as Team Velocity do. So they have Darky, King, Soulmate, HSB, Pokemon, and Shooter, out of which Pokemon, of course, isn't playing today. We have Shaka. Uh, Maybe that's another name. And that's something that could be a little different about this team because we haven't really seen too much from him. So that could be a game changer. Whatever homework that Velocity have done about Team Exploit, it could be a very different picture what they see today.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams not lacking in the firepower, not lacking in the experience department either. And it's all going to come down to whether you have the better setups, the better strats going into this. Because we know you guys, like all these 10 people in the server, they are phenomenal competitors, exceptional aimers, and just sportsmen down to the wire. You know what? I'm hoping for a little bit of BM. Like it's just a few tea bags here and there, a little bit of shooting the corpses, a little bit of dapper mixed into the fray is never is always welcome in my opinion. But yeah, we're going into the character selection, and Killjoy, Sky coming from Team Exploit, whilst VLT have more or less locked in their picks. It's Cypher, Viper, Astra, Sky, and Jet on Deathmaker. Oof! Like the moment I say Jet on Deathmaker, it's so difficult to imagine how anyone can lose with that combination, because Deathmaker since the times of CS has been such a deadly player. Like he can just shut down sites all by his lonesome with his nutty aim, and him on the Jet and the operator. I shudder.
Yeah, so they got their big gun out. Deathmaker will have to turn into an attack helicopter if they want to win this one. Although I must say, Shooter on the other side of things is also a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's still deciding whether he should go for the Jet or the Raze, but let's be honest, no matter what he picks up, he's going to be just as deadly.
Yeah, and as we saw, Raze is a very viable pick on Split. I mean, it was Skills who made it sing that previous game that we just watched. And, well, Shooter, the only Raze, the only duelist on Team Exploit, whilst Jet on DM, the only duelist on VLT. One duelist, pretty viable on Split. And they've got two controllers each. No, they've got two Sentinels going up against two controllers. That is going to be interesting, especially like we know that Sage, like going into attack, she does suffer a little bit in terms of her uh, aggressive output. It's not as good as, say, even heck like actually, yeah, even a Killjoy or a Cypher would offer more in terms of offensive capabilities. But people have made like crazy plays on attacks with a Sage. So this is the first Sage we're seeing today. So yeah, I mean, let's see. Let's go. I'm ready.
And-
Are you?
Yeah, of course. And with them having a Sky and a Sage together, putting both the heals together, that could be disastrous for the side of Velocity. They'll have to face so many of these people again and again.
Yeah, that's a lot of sustain. And like, don't forget Sage's slow orbs. Those things can stop an attack in their tracks. And I mean, since we do have an aggressive-ish lineup coming out from VLT, maybe those slow orbs will play a tremendous role in helping the defenders buy that few extra seconds to get in the favorable positions on the bomb sites or on the retakes. I mean, it's about to come to foot, and look at that. Sage just going up to get that ult off. Like, no, I want that res. That res needs to be up ASAP.
Yeah, there's not much that you can do when you're having a 7-man roster on your team. I say 7 because even Team Exploit have the potential to heal 2 of their teammates back up to full HP, maybe even turn them into zombies and bring them back from the dead. If the barrier orb breaks, there is a Nebula. If the Nebula goes away, there is a Boombot. And of course, it becomes difficult to shoot a Boombot down when it's coming through a smoke and you don't have a line of sight, so it could burst on your face any moment. Still, a minute has passed and not too much has been gathered in terms of map control. The only positive outcome over here is that Marzel is inside vents, but I'm pretty sure that he can't escape from this area just yet because Team Exploit should be aware about this. But are they? Shooter just abandoned A Heaven and it's completely empty. If Marzel ascends the ropes now, he should be able to get free map control and nobody will stop him.
Yeah,
They can literally bisect this map in half.
I think they've more or less managed to do that. But look at the counter coming out from
30
Exploit
seconds
as well.
left.
They're more than happy to give up mid because, you have to come to the bomb sites. Oh, but Deathmaker, if you're going to hit opening frags like that, ouch, that's going to be painful. But there's the trade and Deathmaker's not stopping. 2 sightings, 2 heads in his backpack. And now it's down to a 4v3. Oh, Helef just getting caught with his pants down. Caught mid-jump, and Soulmate is more than happy to take that free frag. But all 3 players huddled in towards elbow, making their way towards screens. And Shaka, he's going to come into contact, but before he's going to get HSB. And Shaka gets one. Can he do more?
One
Caught in the
enemy
reload.
remaining.
Deathmaker needs to do something.
Last player standing.
He's going to get the kill. 1v1, and Soulmate so very low. Sliver of HP on him. Time's running out. He has to stick the defuse. Deathmaker, does he peek this corner? Yes, he does. Gets the kill, gets the round. It was close, but Deathmaker, he sent that Sheriff singing and ringing across the map.
Sweet, that was
Oh, but he also had to call
Alright,
some
same
poker
thing this
buffs
time.
over there. It was so difficult to be in shooter's shoes over there. I mean, you have to go for the defuse. You cannot stop. You cannot wait. And if Soulmate let that go for even a second, he would have died anyway. So might as well just try to go for the full defuse. And like some great man said, pros don't fake. This time though, Deathmaker, he calls that bluff and he goes for the peak. And he also timed it. I mean, probably there was a mental countdown in his mind going on, figuring out when the defuse will be complete. But this time, King with the calculated plays, he didn't have much to lose, so he just goes ahead, sacrifices a life, gets 1 kill. That should be enough for now.
Yeah, and Vibhor just making sure he gets the heals in before he inevitably bites the dust. He's low, but his teammates are topped up. It is a 3v4, but those Sheriffs, they can do a lot of damage. And Deathmaker, he's on the flank. He's looking for those kills. The Viper wall going up. Helef marking. Oh! Nasty shot from Shaka.
And they said that the classic was nerfed.
I know,
Apparently
right?
not in the hands of Shaka. The snake might hold them back for just a little bit, but Shaka has snuck past. His
One
teammate
enemy
HSB
remaining.
though can't really make his way inside just yet, and DM won't allow anyone to cross.
Ooh, that was a bit close for comfort. They lose 3 people, so good eco coming out from Team Exploit. They do have enough money to put a buy on the board, but I'm not sure whether they're going to have the full kitty of utility along with the big armor and the big guns. Yeah, and it does look like it's going to be Sage and Shaka who's gone for the full utility buy-up. Raze also, I think, at least has 1 satchel to work with, along with the boombot.
taking that
But yeah, the knives come out onto Jet
vision.
immediately. I think Jet's gonna be playing on the knives. Yeah,
Yeah.
just the Sheriff and the knife.
Yeah, everyone else on Spectres. VLT hoping to convert this bonus round into yet another victory, and if they are able to do so, they would have broken Exploit's economy for like 2 rounds straight. So this could let them go up to 4-0 if things go their way. Although with Exploit having the superior weaponry and team Velocity not able to find any openings just yet, time's running out and they need to make a move. At least Exploit have done enough to bait out the utility from VLT, and they won't be left with much offensive firepower now, especially with their big gun, Deathmaker down. Even Ace can't do much, so he has superior weaponry on Exploit. Good enough to secure them all the early frags. It's just Vibhor and Hellfighter left in 2 very different parts of the map, and even all the tricks in the world are not going to help them sneak in.
Dude,
So this was expected. Everything going according to plan for both these teams so far. I think it's too early to call any winners just yet.
yeah, it's still very early days. Buy rounds across the board once again. I think VLT will be able to scrape together a buy with 4 players having a very decent buy with right to ace. I think may want to go with the Bulldog. No, he's going to go with the light armor buy along with the utility. On the flip side though, very good round from Team Exploit. So they have everything along with the kitchen sink to throw at this VLT attack. Let's see if they'll be able to hold it off. Nice pre-Molotov there from Vibhor. That Viper Spit
Concealment.
will stop any shenanigans in terms of a push. But oh, there we go. Shooter overextends and then gets taken down immediately. Rez still not up onto the Sage, so they're gonna have to play with that man disadvantage very early on into this round. Unless King has something up his sleeve, maybe get a trade. It's not looking good.
So the skies on both sides of this engagement, so flashes can be thrown when needed. HSP even has a seekers available, so in case any mid-round shenanigans are attempted by VLT, he can still find out where they are going exactly. Velocity take control of the rope room. Sure, they lost one player over there, but this will put VLT into. This will put TE in 2 minds. At this point, all the confusions are cleared, so Exploit are aware about the fact, and they're sure that this is indeed going to be a B hit, but HSB feeling his position, getting attacked by 3 people at the same time, but Shaka can easily clutch this out. All of them are just 1 bullet away
30
from
seconds
dying.
left.
It's just
And
all one shot.
Yeah, and Shaka has more HP than all of them combined.
True. But I think Vibhor can change that with the Sky heals. That thing heals up faster than Sage, who is a dedicated healer. So, yes. But, yeah. Shaka gets 1. He's got 2 to find. 2 very low players.
My ult's ready.
Will he be able to clutch this out? They need to play on the trade. They don't have much in terms of... There we go. The double peak comes out.
Nice.
Textbook double peak. And Velocity somehow managed to win that round. It started off so very well for them, but it just completely got derailed with that one spray down and everyone getting tagged up in heaven. If there'd been one kill that had come out from that spray down, I think this would have been a very different round.
Oh, definitely. I mean, even after they had 3 people alive, they needed to rely on so much coordination. I mean, I thought this round was done and dusted when Vibhor died over there. He offered a 1v1 to Shaka and not even do a single tick of damage. So that's basically what it was. Team Exploit getting very, very close to victory. Almost tasting it too. But with Velocity still in the driving seat, they have a long way to go. This time,
and,
though, I think... Go ahead.
No, I'm just curious to see how this aggression pans out. I mean, Shaka getting baited out there by the Viper, and then just the immediate swing from Ace. Good team play coming out once again from Velocity Gaming, and
Cage trigger.
they're now just gonna give up some, yield some map control towards A, but immediately right back at it. It looks like it is gonna be an A hit. Spike is making its way over. Nope, it's B. Oh, they've drawn an ult.
Yeah, and
that-
nobody to respond towards the B side from Velocity indicates that this is a hit nonetheless. Even the Seekers have revealed everyone. So this is textbook and this is telegraphic. So it's going to be a 4v4 retake. I think this retake can be possible though. Shaka has a Cosmic Wedge which he can put up
Spike
diagonally
planted.
and cut the side in half, and HSB can use the Viper's Pit. Oh boy, HSB. The Seekers are not going to do anything now. Viper's Pit is online, and yeah, Vibhor can basically stop them right then and there.
Yeah, and Vibhor just happily play around that bulbous bubble of
You dead.
ickiness, and there we go. Hellfighter
My
gets the
ult's
kill on the
ready.
king. It's a 3v4 retake situation. Hellfighter not stopping, gets a good race. Shaka finally does trade him out, but is it too little too late? That Viper bubble, as long as it's up, it's going to be a pain in the ass for Team Exploit. And yeah, it does look like they are backing away and saving. That's the right call. They don't have the kind of money to throw at this. They cannot be throwing bodies at this. And HSB is going to secure the exit per se. And yeah, two people kept alive, 2 guns saved from Team Exploit, and it's going to be the 4th round on the board for the attackers.
The Velocity are somehow holding on to this, even though there are several occasions where I feel like Exploit can win the round, even though they have the opening frags. They're just not able to convert it somehow. I feel like if they can take that opening and rip apart until Velocity bleed, that would be the ideal case for Team Exploit. But even after finding those opportunities, they just cannot see it through.
So now that they've got 3 ultimates online, they've got the Astra ult, they've got the KJ ult, they've got the Sky ult on Team Exploit. That's a lot of utility to be bringing into this specific round. Will they commit these ults now, or will they be saved for a buy round? And that's what remains to be seen. I think we do have a technical timeout. I think that issue has been resolved. But yeah, so far Deathmaker, Hellfighter, the 2 insane fraggers, have been doing the bulk of the killing, and they've been doing a bang-up job of opening up these bomb sites and allowing the rest of VLT to move in, take up good positions, get the spike down, and then play and then play good post plans. So how does Team Exploit change things up? We've seen them be passive towards mid during the buy round. It kind of worked for them. They still lost the round, but they did a lot of
Leave that
damage.
back.
And now it looks like VLT are setting up for a B push. They have no presence towards A or mid, and it.
Time to hunt.
Oh, they're gonna see two. This should be. Oh man, this is a
Pretty
fun
much
one.
a shooting gallery.
Yep. In
I'm
the
surprised
meantime-
Hellfighter died somehow. I'm guessing he was probably setting up the stars and he was in his yoga position and the paint shells exploded under him and he never realized that's the only way he dies.
Blinded.
But still, the round most likely belongs to HSP. I'm sorry, it most likely belongs to Team VLT. HSP and Soulmate really can't do much. They both have their ults but no weapons. And Deathmaker's already behind them, ready to shoot them in the back.
One enemy remaining.
HSB was crab walking as Deathmaker rounded the corner. Oh god, this is comical. But yeah, I mean, again, they had two guns saved over from the previous round. They didn't really have that heavy an investment going in. And it was pretty par for the course for the way VLT played this. They just bunched up, threw in a bunch of stuff, got their Labradoodle out, got the info, and were ready for that B stack. And
No nonsense B rush.
yeah, just WB, don't stop. And that's won the round. 5-1 is the score. And it's a pretty good attacker score. This is somewhat historically been a more defense-oriented map.
Yeah.
And right now, it's looking like VLT don't really have much intentions of taking their foot off the pedal.
Oh, I think it's been taped to the bottom of the carrier over there. The brakes have been disabled, wires cut. They only have a steering wheel and the occasional Tokyo drift, which they throw when they go in for the curveball rotates. Either way, the rotates have been pretty good, right? I mean, Velocity, every time they manage to take control of the mid rope room region, they seem to exploit the hell out of it. You see how in the previous game, Enigma and Global Esports, both of them were placing at least one trap fire each towards the rope room region. No matter who was on the defensive side, all of them were present. They had some information gathering tools in that area, but that is not something that I'm seeing from Team Exploit, and that's exactly what Velocity are exploiting. Once they get control of that region, they can easily go up ramp, and that toxin screen which these guys put up, it can get them control.
That's the whole point, right? Like, that's the name of the map. It's split. Like, if you look at how this map is laid out, you only have one point of ingress from either the B towards the B or the A bomb site if you don't go for mid control. Once you have mid control, that's when the map actually opens up for the attackers. And it's when you can actually start playing mind games with the opponents. Otherwise, if you're not vying for mid control, you're just giving up so much, not just information through being passive, but also like just allowing your the defenders to make info plays either towards the A or the B bomb side and just stack up the other side if they don't get anything positive. So, like, this is a map that hinges on mid control. You need vent room control. You need the mail room control if you want to make anything happen. And that's why you see so much utility being committed towards mid every round. And
The
the
one thing I see in the utility wise, I mean, there's just one change, and that is the turret being placed towards A heaven instead of the rafters, which it was in the round before. So with that turret being on A heaven, if anyone comes from a ramp or if anyone goes up from the rope room towards A, the turret will ring and reveal the position. But still, the rope room control itself, the actual rope, is still under the control of Velocity if they manage to get in there. So sure, Team Exploit have a little early warning system in case they're about to get stabbed in the back from the rope room, but it doesn't give them any control. So all the rotations from Team Exploit will be late because they'll have to go via the defensive spawn and they can't go through the rope room to mid-mail. So that kind of slows them down a bit. And that's exactly what Velocity are looking for. They're looking for speed, they're looking for fast executes, hoping to cut off the rotations before they arrive.
And I'm not sure what Exploit is playing at. They're playing a very, very passive defenders side this round. They've just completely given up more or less everything. They're all the way pushed back towards screen. They've got some presence over towards the A and the B bomb side, but that's about it. Velocity, this map is their oyster right now. They've got control towards heavens. They've got control towards mid. They can go wherever they want. And oh, timing. Sage is gonna get timing.
The Seekers don't even reveal DM.
This is just
30 seconds
unfortunate. Man disadvantage. Very late into the round, 20 seconds left. They have to make the commit right now, and it looks like it is gonna be a B hit. Shaka gets Deathmaker. That's the danger man taken out, but right to ace. Another very deadly combatant makes his way on towards rafters, gets the kill. Now we have Shooter trying to push the smoke. Oh,
10
the
seconds
timing! The timing just gets wrecked by that timing. And Marzel just marking the smoke. That pop flash could be dangerous, could catch him off guard. But it ends up
Still.
team flashing. Oh, F. HSB is good for one, but Vibhor is there for the quick trade. And 6-1. Oh, that's an F, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big all caps F.
That Cosmic Divide, I feel, was a bit late from Hellfighter, but it doesn't matter. They still got the round. His Nebulas were on time though, so that's at least fine. His team was able to use that to sneak all the way up into the faces of Team Exploit, and they didn't realize until it was too late, until they blew up in their face. Especially the bait setup from
and
Deathmaker.
I feel bad for like HSB. The smoke disappears, the Cosmic Divide hasn't come up yet, and he's just stuck there, staring up with two players bearing down on him with all the firepower under the sun. Oh, okay then. Vibhor getting a bit greedy. Spikes down. That's dangerous.
Just
Gets
3
the
people
gun.
to guard it.
Yep. And the wall to boot.
What? That's illegal! You can't do that!
Ace is farming. Alright, HSB in a 1v3 situation. Spike's been retrieved, and why is Marzel doing that? I don't know why Marzel did that, but alright. He wanted the frag. Should have just teamed up, bunched up.
Yeah, but they're not taking any more risks. They just want to make sure that they have everything for themselves. HSB getting revealed, Seeker chasing him all the way down, and it's still not broken. So that make us prepared for it. But again, this will end up being a 1v1, and I'm not really looking forward to this engagement. Exactly why.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, he stacked him down to like red HP, but again, a 1v1, you can't guarantee success unless Ace
And
catches
that's
the angle.
why-
No!
3 years and we're still playing 1vx's like this. What happened? How did HSB get 3 1v1s? It is baffling, but hey man, kudos to HSB. You're gonna give him a gift, he's not gonna decline it. You want to gift Team Exploit a round? HSB is like, thank you very much, I'm gonna take that. And he does, he takes it all the way to the cleaners, and it's the second round on the board for Team Exploit. And VLT, I feel, threw away a round that they had no business losing.
I agree. First of all, let me just say one thing out. Right to Ace had no business getting those 3 frags in the first place. If you peek out like that with 3 people looking at you, you should have died. There's no way Right to Ace should have been able to spray all of them down, but that happened. And then immediately after it, 1v3. The beauty of Valorant,
Yeah, but
the duality of man.
the duality of man, indeed. Vibhor gets that first pick though. But here's the thing. They're getting these early picks, but I mean, they need to stop giving isolated 1v1s to the opposition. HSB's also been tagged down pretty low. It's a 5v3, effectively a 2v3. Make that a 4v1 because HSB, I mean, you can't really count him out. We've seen him with red HP clutch out rounds.
Yeah.
But this seems like a tall order. Bomb has gone down towards the B bomb side. They've got 3 people looking over towards CT, and HSB is effectively all the way towards T-spawn, and he may as well just save the weapon at this point. But nope, Hellfighter, he's on the prowl. He's gonna go looking. He's heard Soulmate. HSB, is he marking it? No, he's not. Oh,
They walk past each other?
what? HSB is
Excuse me?
still. This man is immortal. He's immortal. His teammates are dying, but he is alive and kicking.
Yeah, not for much longer though. I think this should be the end of him. I'm afraid though. That maker's gonna offer him a 1v1 again. with a classic too. I guess it's fine. Velocity have enough money so they can afford weapons in the next round even if they lose their guns now. What they really wanted to do was make sure Team Exploit didn't carry that Phantom forward into the next round. You see, they are flat out broke. They have no money. Maybe this Hero Phantom in the hands of HSB can change the outcome. So they just wanted to deny it.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to go about it. But the thing is, I mean, yeah, you've got enough money in the bank to get at least another buy in case you do, drop around here or there. And you want to, I mean, it's an eco regardless, right? For the boys from Team Exploit. So why would you commit so many rifles to this one single hunt? Maybe you let them keep that one rifle and force them to buy around it and put further strain on the opposition's economy. Hey, I'm just theory crafting here. I'm not sure if that's what was going on, but you've got 7 rounds on the board. You're on the attack on split. This game is more or less going as per the plan. And I guess they're just happy. They just want to go play some Valorant, and I can completely jive with that.
Well, I think Team Exploit will be vibing right now. It's an eco. They don't have much to lose. But the disastrous part is they've got 4 ultimates. And they've been holding on to them for quite some time. I haven't really seen a lockdown from Soulmate. HSB uses his Seekers every now and then, but I haven't really seen a showstopper come out from Shooter. In fact, Shooter's not even having that good of a day. He's only got 2 frags up until now. That's fine because HSB doing most of the heavy lifting. It seems to be a no-nonsense A push, and a lockdown would be great in a situation like this. Even the showstopper for that matter could decimate half the forces of VLT while they're in sight. But let's see if they deploy it this time around or not.
The thing is, right, it's an eco. They know that they don't really have that many weapons to play around with. Hellfighter, though, does he repeat an ace moment? Yeah, he gets one. Can he do more? There's 2 more players to be found around the corner. Gets HSB. There's another. Gets the third. Hellfighter is just busy padding his stats in the meantime. Right to ace, getting that final kill onto Soulmate. And a much-needed, flawless round coming out from Velocity Gaming.
They don't lose any weapons. Vibhor starting to touch 8,000 credits. Marzel just a little shy of 7,000. So money is not a problem for Velocity. Even if they lose every round, they still have money for days. Team Exploit, though, people better be careful about them. I mean, they have a buy, they have 4 odds. This has to be the dangerous cocktail that they've been looking to make.
This is the round. If they want to make at least an 8-4 half, this is the round that they have. Because they've got everything. They've got the ults, they've got the weaponry. Do they have the impetus though? So far they're looking more than happy to just give up the map control to the opposition, and this hasn't really worked for them. Look at where Deathmaker is. He's on the other side of the Astral Divide, just chilling, waiting for the push. The flash comes in, the peek around it. HSV is gonna go dying. And now there's no flash to peek across. Oh, okay, good night. Soulmate, though, in the meantime, has found 2 because the hit is towards the B-bomb side. Shooter gets ace, gets Vibhor, and now it's all down to Deathmaker in the blink of an eye because the rest of his team has just evaporated and been eviscerated by Shooter.
Oh, what a bait and switch.
Oh, that
Shooter was literally using his teammate on the site as bait around the pillar. So that guy, the moment you go ahead to kill him, Shooter, I'm not sure if it was Shooter towards the defender entrance or if it was King. But either way, they basically make that happen. They use one teammate as bait around the pillar, the other one towards the defender entrance, kills them as they try to swing. And they got that round without using any of their ultimates. You can better be damn sure that Exploit will use everything they have.
Yeah, man. Team Exploit, I mean, they're here to play as well. And they're going to make sure that, VLT know that there are no pushovers. And while Deathmaker does a very good job of getting those kills, it's just unfortunate that, the rest of the attack just kind of crumples towards the B-bomb side. But hey, it's another day, another round. 4 ultimates still up on Team Exploit. They still haven't committed a single ult. This is the right time. This is the final round of the first half. If we are ever going to see any more ults, it's going to be this time around. Oh, okay then. Okay. Shooter gets Marzel. Vibhor does get the trade. It's a 4v4. This is still going to favor the attackers. But Deathmaker, he's made his way in. Oh, that could have been a bit sticky with the trackers on his tail. But he manages to dash out of that situation, and it looks like it's going to be an A hit. And all right.
So here's the thing. Sure, Velocity have what it takes to get it into the site and plant, but there will be
KJ
an instant
30 seconds
response
left.
from the Killjoy. And that's gonna force everyone to move out of Vibhor's toxin screen. And if that doesn't go according to plan, they still have the showstopper.
No,
That because
Showstopper's
the-
dead.
Oh yeah, showstopper's dead. Oh my god. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's disastrous.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, they've got the KJ ult, they've also got the Astra ult, so they've got a lot to play with. It's not completely a lost cause here. And Hellfighter, I think he's still towards the back lines, or has he made his way? Oh, no players detained. The knives come out, and they're gonna be playing hide and go seek in that. Well, there we go. That Viper ult coming in clutch there, because even though they had the KJ ult and the Astral
Switching
Divide,
sides.
you still need to find them in that bubble of like green death, and just weren't able to finish it off. And there we go, 9-3 half. I think Velocity Gaming will be more than happy with the attacker half that they've just strung together.
yeah, I mean, imagine this. The lockdown forces you to move to either the corner of a side or move towards the ramp region, closer to where the ultimate orb is. The cosmic divide locks you out of the site so that anyone who's trapped in the side is irrelevant and on an island of sorts, while the other teammates can't back you up. And then if Shooter was alive, he could have pulled out the showstopper. There's only a few positions where Velocity can position themselves to avoid the lockdown, and if the showstopper goes down over there, that's it. That's the end of the round. So a lot of things could have worked for Team Exploit, but they did not use their ultimates wisely. Let's hope they can defend, because I'm pretty sure that even though Velocity are the ones who are on the defensive side, there will be someone or the other who tries to push in. And that's exactly why Team Exploit are taking their sweet time. They want to make sure that any aggressors from Velocity do get punished, and it looks like DM will be up on the chopping block. He avoids damage for now, but he's made his presence known, and he's made the presence of his Sky known over there.
Yeah,
How do they
and-
adjust now?
I mean, I think they are going to have to give up rope room, and they're still trying to fight for mail room, but it does look like it's going to be a B hit. Quite a heavy presence towards the B bomb site from Velocity. They've got Deathmaker towards Heaven. He's going to have a lot of traffic headed his way. That flash is going to tell them that for the time being, mail room is clear. But as I say that, Ace gets 2 kills. The pop flash out. Hellfighter trying to make his way to safety is
30
going to be
seconds
able to
left.
back off the bomb site. That's huge because it's a 2v3 now, and they can just play on the trades at this point. And Hellfighter may just go to deny the bomb plant, but they are hunting him. No!
remaining.
Oh no, Soulmate getting timinged out the server, and Mazel picking up the final kill. Crisp headshot to end things and secure the 10th round for Velocity Gaming.
Lovely
Good
stuff
stuff.
from Ace. Yeah, the
Yeah.
triple kill was very impressive. I wish we got to see that, but I must admit, I'm pretty sure it must have been on the back of a really well-timed flash, or maybe he held an off angle which lets them go all the way from the mid-mail towards the bottom of entrance, bottom of the heaven region, and that's when he decided to peek. It's, catching everyone off guard.
I like that
So-
trap wire from Mazel in towards heaven, but lots of presence towards mid.
Blocking sight.
DM just peeks out the shoulder, gets some information, falls right back into the relative safety of mail room, and
Here.
the hunt is live.
Killer down.
1 kill in. Does he get greedy and go for more? Of course he does. He's gonna go for more. He's gonna find his second, and he's gonna peek out again, trying to get a third. Gets the third as well, and this is like just reading off a kill sheet at this point. Mazel cleaning things up. Flawless round coming out from the defenders, and that's 11-3.
Yeah, finally, Team Exploit can put up a bye. Keep in mind that one of the few rounds that they were able to win in the first half was this bye round after they conceded the first 2 of the half. So, historically, Team Exploit have always been good in these kind of situations, so they should have no problem dealing with Velocity in this round. That is, if they can get the opening frags. Of course, if DM keeps on getting backup from Ace like that, it would be disastrous. Those pop flashes from Ace have been perfect, and DM has been so evasive. It's nearly impossible to pin him down.
Ooh. But yeah, now the full buy round comes out from Team Exploit, and Vibhor is kind of stuck behind these slow orbs. But here's the thing, right? Because of the counter utility, Team Exploit weren't able to capitalize on the fact that they pretty much had Vibhor dead to rights behind the box. And look at this, they're gonna go. Oh, lovely. Gets one, gets two. Can he do more? No, he can't. King getting 2 critical kills, restoring parity, and not just the parity. In fact, the man advantage for Team Exploit. And now the play has to be made towards the A-bomb site, where Soulmate is ready and waiting. Gets one. That leaves Mazel in a 1v3 situation. The rotation is coming in. Oh, if he peeks out right now, he could have gotten that frag. But Mazel is going to be patient. He's going to wait. But he's going to peek out at the most inopportune of moments, facing down the barrel of 2 guns. And it is going to be King on that Sage, securing the 3rd for the round.
Hey, even though that play on mid did not really work out for Velocity, I like that they at least tried. It was an eco, they weren't supposed to win this anyway, so if they just waited and held the angles, I'm pretty sure Team Exploit would have come in and shot them in the face. So they tried something new. They put down that toxin screen, and the moment it went down, everyone was supposed to start killing. DM got a nice couple of frags. His dash was, I think, miscalculated. I think he hit a wall instead of going deeper into mud market. So if that was successful, probably they could have gotten a couple more kills, but still, it was pretty damn effective. And at this point, every time Team Exploit try to move up towards mid, they will be extremely wary of this toxin screen. That's why they're so slow. And they're playing so passively towards every part of the map. Even Soulmate was literally towards the end of attacking spawn. And DM goes in his face to shoot him. Barrier Orb seals off the mid rope room region, so that means at this point it's kind of indicating that Team Exploit have no other option but to commit towards the B side, and Marzel's more than prepared for it. One,
but Marzel
could be a bait.
Oh, nice.
Survives.
Nice. But there we go. There's the smoke screen up. That should allow him to drop back. But no, he's gonna go be a little more cheeky. He's going to pick up an aggressive position. That's a lot of information being conveyed by Mazel towards his teammates. Hellfighter is going to double down. Do they go in for this push? Doesn't matter. Ace in towards Heaven. They've kind of boxed Team Exploit into this Heaven region, and they should have all the information under the sun.
30 seconds left.
Yeah,
that it
and
is going to be a... Yeah.
Even if they get to the B side, it's still going to be difficult because, sure, what do you do after planting the spike? You have no post-plant positions available. You can't go towards the defender entrance. Ace is prepared with the flashes over there. You can't go back towards B main because there's 2 people over there and you don't even have to do anything. The Seeker should find out where the last player is, and HSB, he is in no position to defend the spike.
Nope. And now they know HSB is in the mail room. Times run out. 12 map point. 8 map points for Velocity to play around. And they're just going hunting. HSB the Immortal lives again with his weapon. They'll have to cobble a buy together. Otherwise, this is going to be the final round for them for the first map. Oh, that was so well played by Mazel. That aggro play in towards B main, holding that position down, calling for the flash from Hellfighter, and then Hellfighter doubling down. Just, yeah, give up the bomb site. It's okay. Like you pointed out, where do you go after planting? Because you're just in a vice grip that Velocity have sprung for you, and with no way out.
Lots of difficult decisions to be made over here. Team Exploit, they just muster up whatever they can. Shaka doesn't even have a weapon. No ultimates available either. And even when there were ultimates available on your side, you didn't really use them. Although if Shooter gets a kill, that's going to be the showstopper online. So maybe it could be a game changer. Once again, they're attempting a mid plus B split. But Deathmaker being present in this location could be a deterrent. It's not.
But
HSB?
I mean, the answer is immediate, right? Like, yeah, fine, you missed that first shot, but your teammates have given you enough cover to back away. And oh, so much headed his way. Does DM survive this? He's got the knives out. They know exactly where he is. And the support is there, and he's going to get taken down. So does Mazel. And somehow, Team Exploit have managed to flip this round on its head. Hellfighter bites the dust as well. In the blink of an eye, it's down to a 2v5. How did things go so bad? I have no idea.
Just brute forcing their way through. Team Exploit can make this one work. I mean, sure, it was a little sweaty this round, but that's all that you can afford to do in this one. HSB dropped down into the mid uh, rope room region and he broke the tripwires, made some noise over there, which basically delayed the VLT rotation a little bit, buying just enough time for his teammates to make quick work of the B site.
Yeah, and also
But-
the two missed shots by Deathmaker. I mean, that just goes to show how expensive an op miss can be from your dedicated opper, and someone as reliable as Deathmaker, you would expect them to hit that, at least that first shot onto the Astra coming into B mains, like all day, every day.
But still, it's not the end of the world. Velocity still have plenty of map points. They even have 2 Vandals, which they can use as hero weapons. Ace and Vibhor on them, so they can have them positioned on one side each. In case one of them dies, the other one can pick up and play, so it's fine. Deathmaker has the heavy shield, so of course, he's still going to be just as deadly with the Sheriff. His teammate making noise towards ramp. Deathmaker peeking out from bottom. This could have been a very good bait, but Soulmate survives that encounter.
Oh, that was very well intentioned from Vibhor, but gets 1 kill. Unfortunately, the trade is immediate and it is deadly. In the meantime, it is down to Mazel and Ace to maybe salvage something from this round, but King's left on the lurk. Bomb has gone down towards the A bomb site, and Sky. Ace does have the weapon, and it looks like Sage is looking the wrong way. This could prove to be very deadly, but nope. King with the juicy flicks, and Ace gets taken down. Now Mazel with the Sheriff, all by his lonesome in a 1v4 situation. The op is bearing down on him, and the op is gonna miss. Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like the opposite just not having a good day. First DM, now Shaka. Hey, at least he makes them drop the more expensive weapon and they don't retrieve it. I guess the op on the attacking half is not going to be that effective anyway. Mazel just dying to the spike so that he doesn't get any saving penalty, hoping that he can buy in the next round again. So Velocity are once again ready to put up a fight.
Have any patterns
Yep,
emerged?
and a fight indeed they'll put up. Ace is the only one who's looking slightly shy in the credits department. Should be a good buy otherwise all around the board for the boys from Velocity Gaming. In the meantime, Team Exploit, they're managing to inch that gap closer and closer. They've got 6 more map points to fend off, and they just need to take it easy. Like, they just need to calmly just take it 1 round at a time, not get overwhelmed by that scoreboard. And if they want to try and mount a comeback, they're gonna have to just be a lot more methodical. And as I say that, it looks like a YOLO rush B play coming out, and the KJ ult gets popped. Will we see
You want to fight?
a YOLO B rush?
The only thing that
Oh.
could probably stop them is a Viper Spit that's available on Vibhor, but no, wait, it isn't. It's already been tagged up. So, yeah, they don't let go of this one. The Cosmic Divide lets them plant. They have no
Spike
information.
planted.
Seeker's not available on Ace, which means they won't have anything. Mazel has it also. Maybe that could be possible. But then Shooter popping out his rocket launcher will discourage anyone from coming through. Soulmate still keeping it competitive. Mazel with the only frag that he could get is obviously looking for more, but he can't take his hat off anymore and reveal all their position. So this retake is looking increasingly difficult. Oh my goodness, this could have been disastrous, but so many trades go down in a matter of seconds. They used the Nebulas to make sure that anyone towards the B main region was irrelevant, and whoever was stuck towards the backside gets triple peaked.
Defenders win.
That's how Velocity Gaming, they isolate and exterminate.
Prove yourself worthy.
And that was masterful. That smoke coming in, negating that B main angle, and just overwhelming that defense towards the back of B bomb site. Whew. So well played on that retake. They had to wait a long time for the wall to go down, but once it did, that retake came swiftly and it came with a vengeance. Wow.
Yeah, and Team Velocity, they were in the driving seat right from the start. I think for the most part, they were able to keep the Team Exploit economy pretty humble. Every time they went in for a buy, it was mostly mixed. Like, for example, some people would be on Sheriffs. Maybe HSB or King would pick up a Phantom or a Vandal. Sometimes they would be saved from the previous round. So, things are not looking that consistent in terms of economy. their buys were not consistent either. So Team Exploit always struggling in the weaponry department. Although, forget the weaponry, they didn't even use their ultimates properly. So that could have been one thing that they improved upon. Although I must say that the main reason why I think Team Exploit lost this map is because they could not do much to stop Velocity from getting into rope rooms.
Yeah,
I think
they
that's
were
the main reason.
like on their defense, they were very passive. I mean, okay, granted, this was Velocity Gaming's map pick, and it kind of showed through the entirety of that attacker half because uh, Team Exploit were very passive in their holes. Like you said, they gave up mid too easily. They were all the way pushed back towards screens and towards CT spawn, uh, like throughout their defense. And once you give that much map control over towards Velocity Gaming, they're just going to play mind games with you all the times. And a lot of the rounds that they did lose velocity on their attack came down to the defenders just hitting nutty shots and their fakes not playing out as they would have expected them to. Um, and those happen. Like, you can't really predict all your plays to be successful 100% of the times. But the response from them was immediate, it was effective, and it shows in the scoreline 13-6, pretty dominant. And this would give them a good confidence boost going into Exploits map pick, which is Icebox.
All right. Icebox is going to be certainly interesting, but there were some really interesting moments in this game as well. So let's take a look at the highlights. I'm sure that one of those moments has to be that clutch from HSB. That was so good. And honestly, it was more like Velocity making those mistakes rather than HSB pulling off something nutty. Yeah, sure, he was on 10 HP or something like that. It shouldn't have been possible for him to clutch, but if Velocity keep making mistakes like that in a map like Bind, they will be very easily punished.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to give so many 1v1s in a 1v3. And HSB, again, credit where credit is due. He hit his shots. He played that perfectly. It's not easy to find the 1v1s, even if
Yeah.
they're being given to you, considering the amount of HP he had to work with. The fact that he came out on top on all three engagements in that situation, commendable. Like, to keep your nerve, to keep calm, and not have your hands shake. Oof, very well played. But at the end of the day, the final scoreline is what decides it, and it did go to VLT. I can't wait to see what they have for us, have for store for us in Icebox. It is Team Exploit's map pick. VLT has shown a lot of grit and determination while playing Icebox. They have a few very interesting setups and a few switch ups that I've watched them, commit to over the past few months, and I'm curious to see how Exploit deals with VLT on Icebox.
I think one very good thing that Exploit do on Icebox is that they play aggressively whenever they're on the defensive side. And that's one thing that they did not do in Split, which I think was the difference maker. We did agree that Team Exploit was not taking initiative enough and they were just letting Velocity have a lot of map control. And if that was different, then things could have changed for Team Exploit. I can't even blame them though, because the few times that Exploit did try to take initiative and rush out of B like that, they were sprayed down by Ace and his triple kill. Of course, this was also the round where HSB was able to pick up his 1v3. So, we got to see two different 1v3s. Of course, both of them vastly different in the same round. Again, that doesn't happen very often, right? So Velocity have to make sure that they don't offer 1v1s, but Team Exploit will play more aggressively in Icebox. We have seen them do it against all their opponents, especially Shooter. If he's on a character like Jet or something, then you can always expect him to play aggressively towards pipes or even attack the top side of belt when he's on the A side, and aggressive positions like those in Icebox. Either way, this map basically belonged to Velocity Gaming, and if history is going to be any evidence, then so far today we have seen all the teams win out their respective map picks. Does that mean that Exploit will be able to win Icebox? Will Velocity be able to defeat them on their own map? I guess we'll have to wait and watch.
Yeah, I guess we will at that. And speaking of Icebox, man, that there's so many angles from an attacker's perspective that you have to clear when you're hitting either the A or the B bomb site. I was just thinking, like, what kind of agents do you go with, especially in terms of your controllers? Do you go for that Omen that allows you, along with the Jet that you will almost certainly have, to take those vertical off angles onto the bomb sites and on mid? That always throws a wrench in the works of any person who is deciding to aggress those specific positions. Do we see an Omen finally? I don't think we've seen one till now. today.
We haven't.
We haven't,
the-
right? Yeah.
So Vipers basically turned into the staple pick of Icebox. That toxin screen can eliminate half the entire site, so that's pretty essential. But yes, there is room for another controller as well. Now, does that have to be Astra? Does that have to be Omen?
Yeah.
Do you even need a second controller, or would you much rather go with 2 initiators instead? So there's a lot of things that you can do in a map like Icebox. Of course, the verticality that the Omen offers can be a good thing, and of course, there's so many angles, so you can still have some of those outplays. But I haven't seen any team do that yet, so I doubt if that will be the case. Although
I
if
mean-
someone does pick it to throw somebody off, it could be really, really entertaining.
I can see a Sky or a Breach being equally as effective as an Omen when it comes to getting map control, clearing out those annoying corners, and getting you to make space for your attack, or make some space if you are pushing out as a defender to try and seek information. I'm certain it's going to be the return of Sova. Such a good map for Sova is Icebox. And along with Sova having that Sky as your initiator, I think is just the icing on the cake. Because again, like we said, Sky's kit allows for so much information to be relayed. Her flashes tell you if there's someone who's been blinded. You have the dog, and you have the Seekers, that's her ult, and the heals, the added heals. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what Icebox has in store for us. But we're going to be right back after a short break with the second map of this best of 3 between Team Exploit and Team Velocity Gaming.
Hey guys, welcome back to AMD Presents TEC Showdown, and we are smack in the middle of Velocity versus Team Exploit. Now, Velocity won split 13-6. It was their map pick, so one would have expected that Velocity walk away with the win. Throughout the day, we have seen that teams have been winning their own map picks, so naturally, as history is my evidence, there should be a good enough chance that Team Exploit win their map pick, and that's Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, historically, seeing as how things have unfolded thus far, it does look like Exploit should be the ones picking up Icebox. However, Velocity do have a fair few tricks up their sleeves for Icebox, and Velocity isn't the kind of, like, the players, if I know them and we've known them for a while, they aren't the roll over and die never like kind of people. Like, even if it's not their map pick, they're gonna do their darndest to take the fight to their opposition. And we saw them not give up and claw their way back, even from rather uh, questionable circumstances in Split, although they did give a few of those away as well. But hey, man, I love the fact that Velocity don't really go down, like, they don't go down easy. 13-6 was the first map. We do have Icebox coming up, and it is picked by Team Exploit, so we will have Velocity starting on the defensive side. Very good place for a team like Velocity to start and set the pace or set the tone for the aggressors, which are Team Exploit. Now, the thing is, right, on Icebox, if you time your pushes correctly, if you do bring that aggression on your defense, you're not going to end up regretting it. So I hope to see some amount of microaggressions early round either or mid round, just for information coming out from Velocity, and just take the fight to Team Exploit. Don't let them have the way of the land. Don't let them get all the map control and dictate the flow of the round. And from what I know, Velocity aren't that kind of a team. They always come out the gates swinging.
Yeah, and of course they come out the gate swinging, but I want to throw it back to a couple of months ago when these teams faced each other during the VCC, the Valorant Conquerors Championship. Icebox was one of the maps played, and Velocity was able to win it 14-12. It was a sweaty overtime game, and for the most part, Velocity were not successful in holding down mid. They started to double down on that area only in the last few rounds, and that's how they were able to force it into overtime. Otherwise, Exploit would have walked away with that game. But now, maybe things would be different. It's been a couple of months. There have been plenty of changes in the Velocity roster. New people have come in, new roles have been switched. So maybe they should be able to put up a better fight. Let's jump into the Aiden selection and see what they have in store for us. And so far, no surprises really. Marzal Kidjoy and Deathmaker on Jet and Hellfighter on Viper is something that I would have expected. Although Vibhor picking up the Sage, yeah, now that's what we wanted to see. I'm assuming Ace will most likely go for the Sova.
Yeah, I mean, identical lineups across the board. Now, this is not something we have seen so far today. There's always been some variance in the agent selection, but yeah, Ace, he used to main Sova back in the day when the game came out, and I don't think that has changed. And looks like Ace should go for that Sova. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and identical lineups. One controller, that's the Viper, and as you said, right, it's pretty much all you need nowadays in Icebox. Like,
Hmm.
it's okay to not have the Noman, it's okay to not have the Sky, as long as you have that Sage and that Viper, you've got things on lockdown, and you can throw in Killjoy there for good effect as well, because her Molotovs, they melt. And that turret is also very good for in terms of information. So I guess we're ready to go um, into the game very soon. And well, Icebox, Team Exploit, what do you have for us, guys? Velocity have won their map pick. It is time for you guys to bring it and take yours home.
Velocity are pretty good at denying information on Icebox. So if Velocity want that, they will have to go ahead and get it, and that could be risky. Of course, Ace's recon darts and his drone is a relatively harmless way to gather information, but that's just one side of the map. What about the others? Velocity will have to actively hunt for it, and that means if Velocity don't play aggressively, if they stay in their areas and just hold their sights, things could start to go wrong for them, because TE are very good at sneaking deep inside as long as possible, and as soon as the cover is blown, they just burst out of the whole cover, and then you're surprised because all of a sudden there's 4 men on your screen and you're getting quad peak, penta peak. There's no way you survive those situations. That's what Team Exploit are good at. If Velocity can somehow avoid that from happening, if they can avoid getting outnumbered, that too in a very sudden manner, I think they should be able to handle their defensive side pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, if you see someone like a team like Gambit play Icebox, right? The amount of map control they're able to get off of the back of their lurk is just insane. Like, he'll be in positions that you do not even imagine existing, and he'll just strike at you at the most inopportune moment and just completely decimate your hold. And if Team Exploit are able to bring that level of infiltration to their attack and just wreak havoc in the backlines for Velocity Gaming, they're going to have a difficult time keeping track of what's going on. And as you said, they weren't very mid heavy in the previous time these teams met on Icebox, and only towards the latter half of the game did they adopt that approach. So I'm hoping that that's not what comes to pass here, and we see a more proactive and a more a not so reactive style of gameplay from Velocity Gaming. I mean, we just have to wait and watch, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, while we are waiting, I mean, I'm just so glad you reminded me of that play from Gambit. Nats. Oh my
Nats.
god, what a menace that guy. I would hate to play against him. You have to be the most unluckiest player in the world if you're facing Nats, because that guy finds timings. I don't know if it's calculated, if he got lucky during that Masters finals, or he is just that big brain that he forces the opponents into throwing away their advantages. I'm not sure. Could be either of those three possibilities, maybe even all of them, considering how great he was. I mean, Nats was the single player who everyone had their eyes on during the finals. And let's be honest, Gambit was not one of those likely contenders to win. Sure, they had a strong roster, but there were other teams. I mean, Fnatic was looking pretty good. Even Crew, for that matter, was looking
Uh,
pretty good until they lost.
That's the
So,
Gambit story, isn't it? Even when they won the
yeah.
CS majors, no one expected them to win it, but they
Yeah.
did. It's the
Yeah.
Gambit storyline always. Like, oh, we'll see what we can do. Oh, we won it, haha. But yeah, it's, I guess, yeah, Icebox is just, it's such an open map, and you have so many angles to take care of that I don't think it could be that difficult for someone to sneak in. um but Nats just has a knack for it, so I'm hoping to see that from like our boys from Team Exploit or even Velocity Gaming, if they can channel their inner Nats and just completely wreck whatever setups the opposition have going for them.
I think we can probably see Webhor going for something like that. He was able to sneak in a couple of times on Split. Although I have to admit, at that time he was using a completely different agent. He wasn't using the Sage, so he was not as grounded. He had a lot more information. Now he will have to rely on his teammates to do that. So let's see if Vibhor is successful in doing that or not. Deathmaker, on the other hand, man, this guy turned into an attack helicopter, and I think this time he will have a lot more airspace considering this map has so much verticality. I hope he can, unleash everything that he has. I mean, helicopters have blades, so does DM. You get the analogy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? This like Icebox lends itself to very dynamic and versatile playstyles. Like, you're worse off if you're playing stuck defaults and rigid setups. You need that dynamism in your setup. You need that dynamism in your approach and also your calling to be successful as a team and as a player on this specific map. And I think same goes for Breeze as well. So let's see how much groundwork has gone into this map from both Team Exploit and Velocity Gaming. I know Ace and Marzel personally, and they're not the kinds of people to rest easy until they've got everything down, perfect, down to the last possible outcome. So let's see if they've put in that level of work on Icebox. We're going to find out in about 10 seconds. Pistol's going to go live, and well. What do we have here? Bomb still towards the B bomb site. And yeah, mid's gonna get blocked off immediately.
And this is the kind of smoke that lets you go under tube, and it also lets you sneak towards, into it if you want. So both the options open. But King already getting that kill onto Deathmaker towards A belt, easily calling his bluff. They know it's a fake. So even after getting that kill towards the A side, I think most of Team Velocity is still prepared for this B hit.
Yeah, but that poison orb is gonna go off soon. And Soa HSB manages to make his exit without taking a lick of damage. That is gonna end up well, and it looks like it is gonna be a hit towards the A bomb site. And Marzel, he might get caught with the drone. Yes, he does. But Marzel, trying to seize the initiative, is unable to do much. He's gonna go down without getting a single kill. And now the retake is on in full force. The bolts are out. They're trying to get them. Helef right to Ace.
Nice.
2 shock starts. Oh! Everyone's vulnerable. Ace falls after getting his second for the round. It is down to a 2v2.
30 seconds.
But there we go. Hellfighter gets one. It's down to a 1v2. Gets double ding. Needs to be very careful. HSB going up against a Sage and a Viper. And HSB able to find one. Can he get the second? He's so very low. HSB still hasn't taken a single point of damage. What in earth is going on here? HSB, the right click has been nerfed. You need to be left clicking. There we go. Spamming that spray. And finally gets the kill on to Hellfighter. Got a bit sticky there towards the end.
You could see it on his face. Man just let out the biggest sigh of relief after that clutch. And this is not his first clutch. I'm surprised. How did he not die? I mean, that was supposed to be a double peak. You had the Sage up top, Hellfighter at the bottom. They both were holding the same angles. If anything happened, then both of them should have beat HSB together. And somehow, even from those angles, he was still able to isolate the 1v1s. I mean, Hellfighter was already pretty dank, so HSB did not even break a sweat trying to kill him. But then getting the kill onto Vibhor, that was very important because Vibhor was the healthier one over there.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been the other way around. It should have been... okay. Deathmaker dying in the air. Marzel, though, up close and personal. Can he get a few? Of course he can. Gets one. Brings it down to a 4v4, but the weapon advantage still squarely in favor of Team Exploit. And they've turned tail and they're running towards the B bomb side. The defenders are responding. The rotation is coming in. But will they get caught towards mid? Doesn't look like it. Hellfighter spots the Killjoy making his way towards yellow boxes. The wall goes up. Oh my god, Hellfighter just not having a good time there, and they'll trickle in one by one. Vibhor will get the kill onto Shaka. That's the Sage taken out. Killjoy fairly low, but again, the weapon advantage is still there for the attackers. Marzel has picked up. Oh, Marzel gets spotted out. Marzel gets the kill. Marzel in a 1v2 situation. Everything along with the kitchen sink is being thrown his way. Marzel, can he find the kill onto King? He is fairly low. Oh, but missing those crucial tags. And Marzel, the clock has rung out. He's gonna get the third for the round, but now it's all down to HSB, and HSB He's not taking any prisoners. He's not going to be making any mistakes. He's going to seal off that round. But my God, what an expensive round for Team Exploit.
Yeah. 4 weapons dropped, and now they don't even have enough money to buy weapons. Sure, they can probably afford the Spectres and full shields, but if you want to afford Phantoms and Vandals, you will need to give up on the full shields. Probably switch for the light ones. So yeah, it is expensive, and Velocity will have the man advantage this time around. But one thing that Velocity did right in this round was the rotations. So they were able to reach there on time, and all the players of Velocity just tried to move away from that barrier orb and peek the planter as he was trying to fall back. Of course, it was in the end only Vibhor who was able to get the kill, but for the most part, everyone, their timing was decent enough, and even Marzel did a fairly good job. If he only had a little more HP, could have probably worked. But now, an impending A hit, and Exploit look to move inside. There's only 2 defenders over here, with 2 more on the way, but they have to cross the toxin screen to do that. If Velocity attack right now, then they can intercept Exploit, but this is turning into a little bit of a slower affair than I thought it would be.
Whoa!
Oh my God.
Okay,
And it picks up pace the moment I thought it would lose some steam. Viper's bit put down, but that Maker still able to get the spike. Soulmate recovers, but Hellfighter, he's a Viper too, and he knows what a Viper would think. Maybe wait for a couple of mistakes from Team Exploit, hoping that they overextend. And HSP might just be on the chopping block, but he disengages when the time is right.
Yeah, but now the position is known, and Hellfighter, he's in a spot of bother. He's going to switch out the gun, get some more bullets into his magazine. He's going to try spraying, but he's not really going to get much love from this. And I love what Team Exploit did. They switched it up. It was a faster play, and they turned that weapon disadvantage into an advantage. They, because of the lack of aggression early round coming out from Velocity Gaming, they were able to close in the distance very quickly and then just pounce. And they just overwhelmed that defense towards the A bomb side, leaving not much room for the retake to come in. And, well, then they just hit their shots.
Yeah, and they took their time to get into position, right? I mean, there was one player from Exploit on pipes, one at the bottom, like a regular entrance, one on the belt. And they took their sweet time, and then all of a sudden, those 3 people peek at once. Boom, the screens guy is dead, Rafters guy is dead. Third player who's playing towards 410, he's isolated, has no backup, and now there's people coming at him from both sides. There's not much that he can do, so that's 3 instant kills for Team Exploit.
Yep, and that's it. Third round secured, and Velocity Gaming back to Eco days.
They're gonna be here for a couple of days, though. I mean, all the force buys definitely can't be helping them. Hellfighter saving that solo Vandal probably has to be the difference maker over here, but with the hit coming towards the B side, Hellfighter is well positioned, but are the rest of his teammates ready to set him up for success?
I mean, and the thing is, right, especially with Velocity Gaming, like, they are very dangerous on their thrifty buys as well. I think they're one of the few teams that win quite a few rounds when they're on the, eco buys. And look at Hellfighter, he's trying to make something happen. Screens going down, the enemy screens coming up. That was the opportunity they were waiting for. Well, Sage is vulnerable, and she is taking a ton of damage, but Shaka, he's gonna get the plant, he's gonna back off, and oh,
yeah, that shock dots will destroy any nanoswarms that might be present over there. A reverse barrier up, they could start needing to defuse right now. Vibhor's about to get the half, and he's not stopping. All the people of Velocity now engaged in a bodyguard movement, and they're able to get it. They steal all the weapons too and kill everybody. Oh, what a cheeky way to win the round. Velocity pulling out the pocket strats.
and these and like, that's what I was saying, right? Like, Velocity Gaming, they have these moments where they can just, like, even when they're down, you can't consider them to be out. What a play. Just staying alive, playing the time, playing the angles, and then
Placing sentry.
just sticking the defuse. What a ballsy play.
Yeah, it was even ballsier for his teammates to offer up their own lives for the taking, just so that they could protect his. Well, they pray for the greater cause, and this time the greater cause was getting that first round. At least with this, their economy won't be broken, right? So they have some money on DM building up. Even Hellfighter has plenty of credits. Early barrier up towards B means that Tube is open for the taking. Maybe Team Exploit can use that information against Velocity. But because they know that mid is rather defenseless, they have left Ace over here who's actively watching. Of course, every now and then, he'll throw his recon in different parts of the map. This recon gets instantly destroyed towards mid, so all his beliefs are once again confirmed. Deathmaker repositions. Instead of holding the B greens region, he's now towards oranges, because this is the only other vulnerable place left on the map. Velocity are inviting Team Exploit into their crosshairs, and it looks like Team Exploit will be very
You
keen
will not
to knock
kill
these
my
doors.
allies.
All right, the res does get successfully pulled off, but that's one Sage ult taken off the board. Ooh, Mazel.
They walk past each other?
4x3?
I don't know, but Shooter, he's inside enemy lines. The turret will reveal Shooter, but Mazel is not revealed yet, and this could be disastrous.
Bomb grenade out.
Ooh, Mazel, this is... He's gonna get one, he's gonna get two. Can he do more damage? Doesn't need to. He's got the spike down as well. Alarm bot has been triggered. Shooter trying to stay alive inside, but they've got Mazel to worry about on the flank, and it's just too much for the attackers to handle. That one play from Mazel, just sneaking past the jet, unravels that round, and Velocity 2. Exploit 3. All right, we have seen two very good rounds come out from Velocity back to back.
Yeah, and this one was a tactical masterpiece. They put up the barrier orb towards B, and I've never seen Velocity do that. Most teams will put up that barrier orb inside the tube, so that they don't have to watch too many angles on mid. At least that's one less place they have to worry about. But when they put it on B, they can station everybody towards the mid region so that the A assault is much more successful for Velocity in case any of their players need backup. Rotations will be faster. And then, of course, Mazel with the sneaky frags. I just can't get anything else that's better than that. Vibhor again, once again, pulling off something cheeky. This time he's only good for one, though. So it's DM who has to step up now. No backup available for DM. He can always dash back to safety where Mazel is going to be prepared. But he won't backstab. He won't fall back. And it's just facing everybody head on.
Oof.
The knives come out. The heads go off the head. The heads go off the shoulders. And that is it. That's Velocity. Once again, putting up a dominant display. This time, there were no tactics, no brilliance. It's just Deathmaker and his mouse.
Yeah, and just sheer grit and determination. Just standing his ground, not letting it up. Pulls out the knives just so that he has a faster rate of fire. And sees out the round quite comfortably. One casualty, I think Velocity will be more than happy, with the outcome of that round. Obviously, Flawless would have been preferred, but ooh, fast play by Hellfighter. He's going to drop. The Owl drone needs to be taken out quickly.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's not good.
You should
So
Yeah.
that's what happens when the angles get isolated.
Yeah, and
They
that's
were
a
hoping
Sova.
that-
That's your info seeker.
Exactly. Hey, I mean, even if Ace was alive, there wasn't much that he could have done. He can't use his Hunter's Fury to destroy the lockdown, so they'll have to give up the A side nonetheless.
Well, it is a 4v5. The retake is possible. Shooter and Gang have committed a lot of utility for this. Oh, the Hunter's Fury also comes out. Mazel gets taken down. Vibhor bites the dust. Shooter takes out Hellfighter, and well, Deathmaker will just try and hold on to this operator now. Oh, he's been found out. He's dead. He's dead. Oh my god, that is like a firing squad. Just facing him down, spraying him into that scaffolding, and he's gonna get taken down. 4th round on the board for Team Exploit. And unfortunate they're losing Sova that early into the round. I think really put the wind in the sails for Team Exploit to just W key it in. And even then, they were methodical. They made sure that they didn't overextend themselves and came out on top of every single duel.
And the moment Velocity tried to hit them, we had two people on top of pipes, ready to stop anyone coming in from screens. Shooters watching rafters, and in every post plant, Team Exploit just know who's watching which angle, so it's nearly perfect. It's impossible to get them to make mistakes in a retake situation. Although Viper Spit being committed on A will force all the players of Velocity to position themselves towards B, and Deathmaker dead by 1,000 nanoswarms. Can't even fall back. No dash. Slow means he can't move. And Velocity are getting picked off one by one. Team Exploit, they don't even want to inch forward. They know that Velocity will peek them and they just need to get the trades. Vibhor might turn things around. Okay, this was unexpected. Exploit were holding the angles. They knew that Velocity will try to push and they were somehow not able to punish it. And now the Resurrection's online. All their good work has gone to waste and Velocity are back in the driving seat.
Oh, but Shooter picks up the AWP. This man can be devastating with that gun. Deathmaker, not the best place to die in, but they know that the op is in play back in the hands of Shooter. And what does Velocity do with this information? Oh, Sage playing a very dangerous game. The recon dart goes back. Oh, Sage getting founded. He's gonna deny the plant. And he's gonna get the kill onto Sage. And Ace, with that Sova, has been pivotal in this round.
Shooter though has to deliver one more frag and he's gonna have his tailwind back online. But if he's getting pushed back like this, things could start to get hairy. HSP providing him backup as long as possible, but now with Hellfighter coming in from behind, sets up the perfect bait for Marcel. He peeks as soon as his teammate was successfully able to distract them.
Whew. This was very well played from both sides. Velocity Gaming comes out on top of that round, but can't fault Exploit much on this specific round either. They did everything by the book. It's just very good plays coming out from Sova that completely undid that bomb hold. And Marzel getting that 2K, sneaking up, making sure that he found that pocket in which to aggress and get in behind, just making the difference there, that 2K.
That was the most important 2K of this game so far. Marzel tying up the scoreline and in that process, making sure that TE stays humble. At this point, Exploit economy is starting to go a little haywire, but they still have one more buy available for them. Maybe with this tactical timeout, they can mount a comeback. They can make sure that their economy doesn't get broken. And if it breaks now, this is like the worst time to break down, right? 4-4. There's only 4 more rounds remaining in this half. If you lose your economy now, that's 2 rounds down the drain. So you can't afford to do that.
Yeah, and the thing is, right now, Team Exploit have a very good buy going into this round. And Velocity, they have just about enough for another buy. Hellfighter will struggle if in case they do lose this round, so it is very important that they don't. And yes, I mean, the economy hangs on a knife's edge. At least the economy game. Oh, Deathmaker going up, aggressive. There's no recon dart for this. He's in the one pocket that cannot be effectively scouted. And there's the owl drone. Oh! Okay. 1-for-1 trade, but that's the op being taken out of the equation.
One angle. Marcel tried to exploit it, but got greeted by a firing squad of 3 people at the same time. Marcel was also supposed to be the one who protects Deathmaker in case someone from Exploit walks in from the belt region. That's a very creative lineup for the snakebite though. It stops the people of Team Exploit from rotating away from the ace side, effectively keeping them boxed in over here. Hellfighter threw it all the way from B, which means Velocity know everything. They know exactly what Team Exploit are up to. All they need to do is hold on to this round somehow because they don't have the man advantage yet. And if Hellfighter dies, that's going to be the B side available for the taking. Yeah, he's going to fall back. No way he survives that.
Oof. He needed to at least get 1 kill there. Unfortunately, he just gets peppered the moment he
30
shoulders
seconds
that
left.
particular angle. 3 people staring him down. He's having none of that. He's just noping his way out of that. But again, the aggression back on towards the A bomb set, and Sova's peeled off, leaving Sage the sole defender towards A. And scratch that, no defender towards A.
Spike planted.
Yeah, Ace is trying to get some lucky kills through the toxin screen. Don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, especially not now when it's a 2v5. Exploit not taking any chances. They just don't want Velocity to come anywhere close to this. And for good measure, I mean, most of the times Team Exploit lose their players in places where the revives can't be popped. So now that they have a revival available, why not? Shaka will have his life back, his gun back in the next round, and we were worried about only the economy game, right? So when you have weapons, you don't need to buy in the next round.
Exactly, and that's predominantly why that res came out. Someone pressed tab on from Team Exploit and said, "Yeah, this is the time we need to protect the, we need to play the econ game as well, and it's best if we keep all 5 guns going into the next round." And 5-4, still a very close first half that we're seeing. It doesn't really look like it's Team Exploit's map pick so far because, well, Velocity are bringing the game to Exploit. They're not giving them rounds. But yeah, once the dam breaks and the water rushes in, there's not much you can do in terms of stopping the onslaught onto a bomb site, and then just hopefully you have enough people kept like alive to possibly mount a retake. And when that doesn't happen, you just save. And at least with that save, Velocity will be able to go into this round with a full proper buy.
Huh? This is the same angle that Marzel was in.
Yes.
They've been in this angle too many times. There was no way TE don't check it. So that was a bit too aggressive for DM. Oh my god, Solnit. What on earth was that flick? He was not even looking towards Hellfighter.
LF just like, sit down, son. Like, just sit down. And that's in the blink of an eye, a 3v5. Now, the question arises, do you save or like what do you do? Yeah, so they're going to give up the B bomb side, just bunch up towards A and gamble stack. And this is the right call in my opinion. But it looks like Team Exploit have a read on this and they are pivoting, and they're pivoting hard. Shooter, he scouted out early and he's going to see that there's no one towards B. And now it's going to be a long flank from the defenders. All right. How does this play out?
I at least like the fact that Velocity
30
stacked A.
seconds left.
TE have been using it like bread and butter. Most of their assaults towards the A side have been successful. B? Yeah, sure. Sometimes Velocity can defend it, but A, not so much. Oh my god, with Hor stepping up like that, Marzel also equalizing things. Ace has a very doable 1v2 on his hands, but can he find those frags? He knows where HSB is, but HSB pre-fires. No chance given to Ace.
Close rounds. Again, just 2 people surviving. 6-4. Down but not out. But this is looking like it's going to be an eco coming out from Velocity Gaming. Finally, their economy is broken. And Team Exploit, with some wind in their sails, they've managed to string 2 rounds together. I think it's the first time since the beginning of the map that they've managed to string 2 rounds together, and they should be feeling good about themselves now. They've gotten the early picks two rounds in a row. They've made the right decisions. They've come out on top of most of the duels, and the trading game has been on point. Oh, all right. How do you fall back from this?
You can't. You just hold your ground, hope it works. 3 people present towards the B side from Velocity hopefully should be enough. But if they keep on peeking rafters and screens like this individually, then they will lose their lives. It's been happening to them all this time, and this round is no different.
Oh.
Again, 1v1's offered to Shooter. He's just gonna farm those frags, and at this point, there's not much that Velocity can do. Probably to save that lockdown from Marzel in the next round, hoping that they'll be able to get in a retake situation. Deathmaker's close to his Blade Storm, but again, that is not like a game-changing ultimate. Maybe a Viper's Fit would have been great, or even a Hunter's Fury for that matter, but I don't think Velocity will have access to those by the time this half ends. Exploit, though, they've got 2 game-changing ultimates. That's a Viper's Pit and the Lockdown. I think they'll save it for the next round, but for now, they don't even need to worry. No need to break a sweat.
Yeah.
Planted. Last player standing.
Okay, the wall goes down. Vibhor is able to get that kill. I think the spike glitched the wall out and it just broke once the spike got planted. Shaka out on this hunt. But it does look like it's going to be Sova that's going to pick up the kill. Nope, it is going to be Shaka who gets the kill on onto Vibhor. And 4 people kept alive. 3 ults online for Team Exploit, and this is the last round of the half. So hopefully we get to see some lockdown action, some Viper ults, and maybe even the Jet Knives come out to play.
That could be the case. I just hope Team Exploit, they attack A like they normally have. It's been working for them, so they don't really need to change much. The question is, what do Velocity do to stop this? How do they snatch that bread away from Team Exploit? Because it's been going on to their plates and in their stomachs pretty often. So something needs to be done about it. Deathmaker still holding the same angle which he was a couple of rounds ago. This time the drone won't spot him, but Shooter will, and he's prepared. Deathmaker at least gets a kill. The pull-up setup from Marzel saves him. That's what they were looking for.
The bait of dreams. That's what happened there. Oh God, that blade storm got shut down faster than it could have been popped. Marzel just not missing a beat. And now Team Exploit, they're 2 men down. They still have the 2 map controlling ultimates up and available. So they should look towards doing something with it. But yeah, there we go. Attacker. Killjoy towards A. Oh,
That's
does
fake.
that? Yeah, that's a fake. And Hellfighter knows what's up. That's the Viper I'll taken out of the equation. But Vibhor? What is Vibhor doing? Anyway. An ult to cancel their ult. It is a 2v4. We have seen Velocity Gaming give up a
30
2v4
seconds left.
situation before. But it doesn't look like that is going to be the case now. 2 ops online. DM marking the progression from Killjoy. Killjoy gets taken out. Blade Storm comes out. Blade Storm goes out. And so does HSV. And that is a 7-5 half. And I think Velocity will be happy with that first half performance.
Definitely. 7-5 is not all that bad. Especially when you know that this is Team E's map pick. Historically, it's not been very awesome for Velocity, but they didn't have to face the full fury of Team Exploit. They only used mid once. After that, Exploit did not use mid at all. And I wonder what would have happened if they threw that into the mix, because their A hits were pretty successful.
I mean, the thing is, right, for them, I guess the thinking was, if it ain't broke, why fix it? And they had so much success. Yeah, you know, they had quite a bit of success just bum rushing the bomb sites after like a minute had passed and they'd drawn out some utility. And usually what would happen is that Velocity would give up lives and frags, and the man advantage would be ceded quite early on, and Team Expert then would just slow things down and walk in and just get the picks and play off trades.
Yeah. So, if Velocity were offering them all of this and more, then why should they fix anything? Presence shown towards the A site, but just in case something goes wrong, you've got Marzel present towards mid and Hellfighter present towards B. Now, after taking the ultimate op, they fall back. What's the next move? Because TE see this coming. They're also starting to move away from the A side. You can already see that the Sova is on the move. Sage looking to explore more towards the B region. Already put up a wall, which could be a bait. I mean, usually the attackers put up this wall, not the defenders. But this is already here. So that's new.
And they're also they're confused. They're like, why is this wall here? Why in God's good earth is this wall here at this
30
point?
seconds left.
It's a 5v5. There's 30 seconds left. What is going on, Crips? I have not the foggiest. There's the wall from Sage. Oh, they maybe wanted to glitch out that wall. Well,
Oh, yeah. Could be. Or maybe like create a tiny cheeky angle that people can exploit or something like that. Either way, a 5v5 retake. This will be very, very sweaty. They must rely on Marzel's nanoswarm grenades, but Marzel is out of the count already. Now, that's something that Exploit desperately needed. This would help them go for the defuse so much faster. Velocity can't use it to waste any more time. Recon dart's taken now. Deathmaker still very good at defending the spike. They both peek left and right from both sides of the yellow box, but after this fury of frags, it's just the 2 Sovas left. Right to Ace and HSB playing around, and Ace doesn't have any bullets. He's only got 3 in the chamber and none in spare, but I think this is just fair. HSB can't win the round, and there you go.
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Again, Velocity. Understanding what was at stake, playing that perfectly, just not giving up easy frags, just playing the timer. They know that now the ball is in Exploit's court. They have to make the next move, and that recon dart from Sova, from Ace, really did a number on the attacking boys from Exploit, because the flurry of kills that we saw, a lot of it had to do with the fact that Velocity knew exactly where the pushes were coming from.
Yeah, Velocity could see into the future. Of course, that barrier orb shenanigan they probably couldn't have predicted that. I think that's exactly why Exploit made it. Oh my god, that is nutty. Deathmaker has a free haircut and he's not happy about it.
Recalling my bot.
No rebuys. And they're pushing out of mid too. This is so fast from Team Exploit. There's no turret. Oh yeah, now it gets spotted. So at this point, Marcel's already paranoid about an incoming backstab, whereas all the people who showed presence towards B main have already left, and all of them are now coming from oranges. Shooter with the Marcel once again looking to make things happen. This time at least Marcel's alive, so maybe the nanoswarms will be helpful.
But the thing is,
All
there's
this
so much,
ability.
there's so much utility being dumped by Exploit as well. That the double peak really coming out clutch. Vibhor gets the second, Ace gets the third, and now this retake is looking rather questionable. The clock has ticked down, but Vibhor and Ace just give up their lives. Why?
Last player standing.
What?
One enemy remaining.
Again,
Too close.
Such a messy round. Like, yeah, exactly. Way too close. Just one player left alive. The economy is in shambles. Yes, scores are tied up, but look at that. Exploit. They're going to have the pick of the litter when it comes to weapons and utility. And Velocity will be left scraping the bottom of the barrel.
I just hope that they can bounce back from the bottom. That's not the place where they would want to be. If Shooter can decapitate you with just a Marshal, I'm pretty sure he's going to be much more deadly on a Vandal. Now, luckily for them, mid control has not been the name of the game for Velocity, except for this time. The moment I see a Deathmaker goes up towards top of tube, doesn't find anyone boiler, nor does he find anyone towards the entrance of kitchen. So, with little to no information, Velocity are confused. Is mid safe at all or not? They will continue down the A-long path just as an insurance policy. Marzel and Ace, both of them present, looking for an opportunity from Team Exploit, but Exploit won't budge. They don't even want to peek out. I mean, sure, maybe playing passive can help them out, but at this point, if Team Exploit keep on playing passively, one would say that lack of information could come to bite them later on, but they know that Velocity is getting desperate. They know that without a pick, Velocity will move into this A side without too much information, and they will most likely run into all the utility that now TE are starting to dump at them. It's like lambs to the slaughter. It's a trap. There's 3 defenders present over here already. Shooter does get taken care of, but Soulmate still looking to make sure that he can get a cheeky frag or two behind that barrier rob. The one-way smoke will discourage him from doing so, but this one-way smoke is missed. DM still so accurate with the Vandal. It's a triple for this man, and I think he might just have swung the tables in the favor of VLT. Still, Team Exploit have bounced back from more dire circumstances. Of course, this might just be a bit too dire. Return barrier rob, but he's vulnerable, and that should be enough. Whew, Velocity survived this one.
Not only do they survive, they
What must
wipe the
They
floor
thrive.
with Exploit. Yeah, that DM isolating those angles, getting those 3 kills, crucial for Velocity to win that round. And that was again Exploit. I would have expected some aggression somewhere, at least to get some information at the very least. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to give up that much map control and play on the retake, you had best hit your shots. And unfortunately, that time, Deathmaker just completely outclassed the defending players from Team Exploit. And here's the aggression.
Oh my
and
god.
There's the response. 2 guns given up, LF on 15 HP, and now it's gonna force the hand from the players towards the B bomb side to make a move. And look at that! Soulmate is like, thank you for the free elevator ride. Okay then.
And the toxin screen, it kept him hidden for just a few seconds, allowing him enough time to peek out on his own terms. Yeah, that's a cool way to go out. Velocity did it to themselves. They never saw it coming. They never thought of the repercussions of their actions, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure that Velocity still have what it takes to win in case something goes wrong. Vibhor has the resurrection available, but HSP with the Phantom can change things. If he gets revealed by the recon dart, right to Ace would be a dead man, and he is. Now things start to look a little more sticky. Vibhor has been revealed, but both of them peek him out at the same time, and that's salvaged.
Yep. That is, but oh, stays alive as well. I can see like Exploit they're playing a very good game. They're trying their level best to stop this, uh, barrage of rounds that is going Velocity's way. But unfortunately, up until now, apart from the round previous to the previous one, they haven't really had the armaments to make something happen on their defense. Finally, we do see the buy coming out from Team Exploit. They've got the operator onto shooter. Anyone who plays Jet, by default, I assume, is a god with the operator. So let's see what happens. Oh, immediate Viper ult. And there we go. Opening things up with the frag onto Sage. That's
What?
the res taken out of the round. And the plant is going to go on in an unconventional B hit, to say the least. Deathmaker gets Shaka, but Mazel gets taken out. Shooter takes out Deathmaker. And it's a 2v4. How is this happening? What is happening? Why is happening? I have no idea.
One
You know,
enemy remaining.
a lot of these teams from India, it's not just Velocity, Enigma, Team XO, I think all those three, except for Global Esports, all of them use this strat at one point or another. They put up the barrier orb on mid, and they hurtle down those narrow corridors of B oranges. Most of the time, it doesn't work in their favor. Global Esports did it once, I don't know, like a month or two ago, and it came down to a 1v1 which they were able to win. But most of the time, this strat does not work for any of these teams. And there's a good reason why, because they have no one coming from B main, no information available over that side as well. So all they can do is hope that the angles are isolated and they don't get sandwiched over there.
Yeah, I mean, that previous round, right? I don't know what possessed Velocity to do that, because they self-sandwiched themselves. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
like Exploit didn't really have to put any effort, because they were like, okay, so this is where the bomb's down, this is where they're going to be, because we know we have control over over towards B long, we have control over towards mid. All right, this is the narrow pocket in which we're looking for frags. They went in, they got the frags, they got the round, and ooh, shooter with the operator. Being aware, being soulmate though, does get tagged, but I don't think there's going to be much play behind that. Deathmaker does have the knives out, so he's going to be one of the more deadly players going into this round. There we go.
but
Spike down B.
as they start to move in, I think a Viper switch should be on its way from Hellfighter. He's trying to look for a weapon of the slain player over there, and he does get it. Even the other ultimate gets used, so they are taking no chances. But Mazel wants to take no prisoners. Take a look at his position. He might come in late from B oranges and backstab the hell out of Team Exploit. Deathmaker with a narrow angle, expecting Shooter to walk in, inviting him into his open arms, and then he opens fire. But he's still playing in that angle where he can be pre-fired, deliberately doing that so that his teammates will at least be able to back him up. Exploit? How are they finding kills? They shot Vibor through that toxin. I
There's no
don't know
time.
how. And now they're falling back. Marzel has to be the one to step up and deny any weapons being carried forward over here, but that doesn't happen. Okay, no problem, I guess. Velocity will still be happy with whatever they pulled off. And this should be a great round. Another one. So they're not only winning the thrifty rounds, but they're also dealing plenty of economic damage. That's what Velocity need right now. They don't just need the numbers in terms of rounds, they also need to reduce the economic numbers of Team Exploit. They need to break the camel's back.
And I think they're well underway to break the camel's back. One more round, and they should be able to do that. On the flip side, though, Team Exploit, like, again, I think I pretty much sound like a broken record, but if you give up the initiative so early and so much, this is what's going to end up happening. Like, yes, you have all 5 players alive and kicking for the retake, but, I mean, you're still on a 30-second timer, right? And if you're not going to be able to get the bomb, get to the spike, secure the bomb site, and get the defuse in, you're going to be losing rounds. And you still have to post 13 rounds to get the W. Oh, HSB spots out Vibor. HSB is in a bit of, is in a spot of bother. But Hellfighter, Hellf, he's made his way in. Oh, he's hearing so much. He's going to get the opening frag. And no way, no way. How does Shooter stay alive there?
Follow up from Vibor, which means the angles have to be isolated. TE need to climb up those little stairs in order to get something done to stop Velocity, but they have already moved in. Spike gone down, lockdown committed to keep them off. there can be a reverse lockdown available as well, but no, they kill King. And now no lockdowns available. They have to rely on just their fights. And he's gonna get detained. No, not yet. Not just yet.
They just make their way out of that, and that's going to allow for the post plants to come in. And now it's going to be quite a bit of time are going to be spent trying to secure as many angles as possible. Down goes Shooter, bullet to the face. Mazel does not miss those very often. The recon dart, oh no, the shock dart is going to come in. Aid's going to force Shaka off the bomb, and that is going to be 11 rounds on the board for Velocity Gaming. Alrighty. Like, okay. 11-8 and Velocity. Yep, they have more or less broken the camel's back. Money is in shambles. It looks like it's going to be a broken buy or an eco and then play for overtime.
Yeah, they could probably play around that operator. It's been saved, so maybe give it to Shooter. He also has the Plate Storm. Or maybe not. Let someone else play it. Shooter already has the deadly weapon. Maybe some Sheriff Pies to accommodate the firepower. Complement it maybe. Either way, Velocity and their mid to B hit, not very successful. Most Indian teams, mid to B, not very successful, but they find success in mid to A. Now, that's pretty important. I mean, I think for the most part, they were prepared about it. Team Exploit, HSB's position is indicative of the fact that they are expecting something like this. There's no other reason for him to play in that region. Even throughout the Owl Drone to spot out anyone else, but somehow Hellfighter snuck past him. He threaded the needle and he was able to get in there just in the nick of time to get the kill on Soulmate. Almost killed Shooter as well, but somehow Shooter survived. Fancy footwork from him and maybe a little bit of luck as well. So that happened. Other than that, that barrier drop which came in from Vibhor was also pretty damn good. It forces all the players of Team Exploit to move up on those stairs and then fight them. So anyone who's in the process of rotating towards Hut or maybe towards the closer side of Spawn, or even Boiler for that matter, at the bottom of Boiler, they can't have any angles. It allows them to funnel the forces in.
You brought up the mid to B split a few rounds before, which didn't work, and now the mid to A that did. The difference was that it was a split rather than what they did for mid to B. They had no presence. They had no presence towards B long, and it was just a 5-man push through mid towards B. And because of that lack of presence is what allowed them to get so gloriously sandwiched. This time around, they sent 2 people through A mains, and then 3 people went in from mid. And like it was in the chaos that Deathmaker was able to like secure a forward position and get those 2, like get that critical kill onto Viper and force the jet on the operator off. And there we go. Shooter. I think like he's been having such a great game. He hasn't been having such a great game, but he's got the knives out, and this could be his round.
Let's hope it is, because if it isn't, then Velocity will reach map. Not just that, series point. Ace also has the Hunter's Fury ready in case T are ready to try something funny. T though, they've got 3 big ultimates, and 2 of those are very important at controlling the map. HSB could have used his Hunter's Fury right now to deny the plant, but he'll much rather use it in some other round. Shooter takes off DM's head, and that's about it. Shaka no longer available, so this is going to turn into yet another sweaty 4v4 retake, except Velocity have the advantage this time around. Marzel once again coming in from behind, catching King, looking in the wrong direction, while Vibhor continues to defend yellow.
Enemy remaining.
All right, just getting punished, and now once again HSB, he's got the op. He's in a 1v4 situation. He's gonna try and make something happen, but right to Ace is not having any of it. He's gonna get his second for the round, and he is gonna put series point firmly in the hands of Velocity Gaming. Whew, this has been... Again, it hasn't, like, Exploit haven't looked that comfortable on the defender side either. It's the same carryover principle from Split, wherein they're just giving up too much map control. They're not taking the fight to the enemy. And, well, Velocity are just saying thank you very much. If you're going to give us map control, we're going to take it.
And the funny part is, last time when these teams faced each other, it was Velocity who was struggling on the defensive side, and they were very good on attack. It's the same thing that happens all over again. And this time, Shooter got done dirty. Double peek, 1 from above, 1 from below. It's Hellfighter to win. Shaka with a very unorthodox barrier up. Probably looking to create some more angles, but ends up backfiring on him. King is safe. Nobody from Velocity will overcome it, even though they know exactly where he is. HSB, though, finds a nice shot onto Marzel. So that's cool. At least with Marzel out of the picture, there's no nanoswarms that they have to deal with, which can be very annoying in post plants.
Yeah, man. Those nano swarms going under your feet when you're trying to get in a clutch defuse, it's like ultimate KLP, dude. But anyway, the bomb does get taken. Oh, the nano swarms. Sage, can you get out of that in time? No, Vibhor cannot. HSB through the wall and through the player as well. HSB does get spotted out, but it is 3v3 retake. Okay, finally. The defender Killjoy. And it's gonna get taken down, not just the ult, but also the player. Oh, no, 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 no. And it is a 1v2 soulmate with a phantom and a dream, and that dream is gonna come crashing down. Right to Ace, getting that final kill. 13-8 things end, and it is gonna be Velocity Gaming who see off, well, for the first time today, the opponent's map pick for a 2-0 victory. Wow.
Pretty clean from Team Velocity. I also love the way how they were able to bounce back in the second half. I thought because Team Exploit were doing pretty well in first, and they understood that they needed some map control, right? And there were some instances where they pushed out to take it. I just never saw that happening in the second half. And for the first few rounds, I was actually happy that Team Exploit is not pushing out, because Velocity were getting desperate for information. And, when they get desperate, when it's a situation where you have 30 seconds left and it's still a 5v5, you're yet to plant the spike, mostly the attackers will start to make some mistakes. But that was only working in the first few rounds. After that, it turned against them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Especially with Amaterasu also coaching these guys. He's got a 10-gallon head. And Amaterasu, I think, would have caught on to the fact that there's very little info plays that are coming in from Team Exploit, and that this is something that they can pounce on. And that's what ended up happening. They just, okay, you're going to give us map control. We're going to take it. And then we're going to make you pay, because we've got a Deathmaker who trades in death and headshots for a living. And he just dished out like wanton murder onto the enemies left, right, and center. And at the end of the day, Exploit just didn't have an answer for the Hellf and Deathmaker wombo combo that Velocity kept throwing their way, and they just kept dying.
Yeah, and Hellfighter Deathmaker is not just one of the combos. It's with everyone. Hellfighter and the timing of him putting up and down his toxin screen, it's so annoying to deal with. Like, you always have to be wary about the sound cues that's coming out from his utility. As soon as you know that the fuel is running out on Hellfighter, that's when you start to gear up. And you have to wait for that, So even without doing anything, Hellfighter can just simply at the press of a button influence the movement of Team Exploit so much.
And yeah, that's what kept happening as well, right? Hellfighter prompted so many rotations. Deathmaker playing around the utility, just dominating everywhere on the map. And at the end of the day, I was just like, wow. And yeah, just speaking of some of those wow moments, let's just take a look at the highlights. And well, I mean, what more can I say? Yeah.
I really thought that Exploit should be able to take this map, considering how they were playing in the first half. Look at the utility usage. I've always been praising Velocity with their utility usage, but Team Exploit, they were also pretty damn creative. You know that one wave, not one wave, I think it's safe to call it a one-way wall at this point. That wall which we were questioning, why is it over there? It leaves this teeny tiny gap which anyone playing towards the other side of the planting area can play with. And it exposes just a little pixel. It's nearly impossible to shoot back from the other side of it. But yeah, those were the kind of creative plays that Exploit were using. Of course, then Velocity came up with creativity of their own. Marzel using the zipline to get into that tower, sneakily getting 2 kills. Sometimes he overdid it, which led to his demise more often than not. But still, more cheeky plays, holding angles, trigger discipline. That net Velocity a couple of rounds, and I think that was good enough.
not just a couple of rounds, but it net Velocity a couple of very critical rounds. And
Yeah.
let's not forget those few rounds that they won completely on eco, where where their ultimate usage, their utility usage just won them the rounds. And at the end of it, you're just left wondering, like, what can stop these guys? Like, they did everything right, and the result speaks for itself. 12-8 looked pretty comfortable towards the end, and
Yeah.
Exploit tried their best. They did everything possible to hold off this onslaught from Velocity Gaming, but it was just a little too much for them towards the end there.
Yeah, I mean, in the second half, Velocity decided to steamroll out of control. Only one round was conceded by Velocity in the second half, and that was the one where they attempted that mid plus B hit, where they used the barrier orb and tried to go in towards B oranges. That was the only round which Team Exploit was able to win. And that too, it's not because Exploit were a good team, it's because Velocity, their strat, that particular strat has not worked for them yet. They're still yet to perfect it. But all their other strats, so good. I mean, they have a deep strat book and they kept throwing variations of it again and again, whether it be mid plus A, whether it's A with the Viper utility, whether it's A without the Viper utility. Even the placement of Hellfighter's toxin screen kept on changing. Sometimes it's straight through the site, sometimes it's diagonal, and most of the times it was towards screens vertically. So all of that kept creating different scenarios which Team Exploit cannot really use again and again. They can't use those comfortable angles, and when you're not holding your comfort angles, sometimes you feel a little strain in hitting your shots, and that's what basically Velocity was making them feel, strain.
Yeah, and Velocity didn't, like, that's the thing, right? Velocity didn't give uh, any time for the opposition, like Team Expert, to just find any momentum or get into their groove. They were just constantly pushing those pain points, constantly pressuring them, and forcing mistakes from Exploit. And it didn't help that I feel Exploit's uh, default approach to the game is slightly passive, and that kind of lends itself very well to the approach that Velocity have to their game, which is pick and play. And
Hmm.
uh, once they're not being given picks, Velocity realize that, okay, we'll just get the bomb down and then play for picks. And
Yeah.
that's what allowed them to win those two thrifty rounds, because once the bomb's down, then the dynamic completely changes, because then as the defender, you're focused on getting the diffuse, and the attackers are just playing off of the diffuse. Armaments be damned. And
Yeah, armaments be damned. At that point, even the time pressure just
yeah,
goes against Team Exploit. And when you're more pressed for time, you will always make mistakes. That's what was working against Velocity, right? Because they wait so long to get a pick. By the time they're actually able to find anything, time has run out. 30 seconds are left, and you have to make a play. Otherwise, you lose the round. Switch it up and just put the pressure on Exploit instead, using the same exact concept.
yeah. Anyway, let's just take a look at how things unfolded between Velocity Gaming and Team Exploit. And there you see it, a clean 2-0, 13-6 on split. That was Velocity Gaming's pick. They looked very comfortable throughout that except for that 1v3 that HSB just pulled right out of the hat and won the round.
Yeah,
And then
that was
13-8
crazy.
on Icebox, which was Team Exploit's pick. But like I said, Velocity, it looks like they've been putting a lot of work into Icebox, and it showed.
Yeah, so many variations on the attacking side. And sure, not all of it was perfect, but come on, 8 rounds out of the 9 that you played in that one half, I think that's a pretty damn good statistic. And if you have that much success on Icebox, then it might even become one of your main maps.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, clearly, Velocity Gaming have a deeper map pool than any of us expected them to. And here we go. Next up in the lower bracket will be versus Global Esports and Velocity Gaming versus Bleed Esports. And the top of the table still remains firm. We have the winners bracket finals, which will be between Alter Ego and Paper Rex, but that's going to be at a later date. Right now, I think we're focused solely on the lower bracket. Two fan favorites, Global Esports and Velocity Gaming, making their way, advancing along the lower bracket. And if all goes to plan, we're going to have a lower bracket finale of sorts between Velocity and Global Esports in a little while.
Yeah, that would be the Indian El Clasico and the ideal situation for all the local fans over here. Although, with them going up against Bleed tomorrow, it's going to be a difficult game. It certainly will not be easy, and they need to do their homework really, really well. Bleed is very strong, so I think they have their work cut out for them. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our side. And thank you so much for watching AMD Presents TEC Showdown. I hope that you tune in tomorrow at the same time and same place for some really exciting Valorant action. My name is Crips, and with me was Pet, and we're going to be signing off for the day.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't wanna do.